I will accept the atonement for myself. Of course, right on the surface, it seems like, well, you have to accept Jesus as your Savior, for yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. You actually have to do it, right? And as much as that, as easy as that sounds lovely, sounds great, and it is better than nothing. It is to put faith into something or someone in any form is to learn how to put faith in yourself. Eventually, you'll take it from them and to recognize that it's within yourself. But you're learning how to use faith. Like, if you don't know how to have faith in somebody else, like a deity, like Jesus, or if you don't know how to have faith, did I say that right? If you don't know how to have faith in someone like Jesus, a deity, then you don't know, and you will never know how to have faith in yourself. Now, these are steps essentially that we are being guided on, and you will have to go back if you skip them. So you're learning what it means to have faith in something. And so this idea of the atonement is very disorienting when you recognize that it has nothing to do with another person. It has nothing to do with another person. That faith in God is actually faith in who you actually are. So yes, many deities, even Jesus, have discovered this actuality of the self of God. The self of God, which is Christ. So you're on this journey of discovering this for yourself. Accepting the atonement for yourself, not through someone else. See the difference? So if it's impossible, if you feel like it's just failure, you're not getting there, it's perfectly acceptable to accept somebody else as your Savior in the way in which they can help you along. Yes. If you can't get it yourself, cling to somebody that can. That's perfectly acceptable. It's not what A Course in Miracles teaches, however. The hopes in which it's teaching is that you will discover what it means to accept it for yourself. Not for anyone else and not through anyone else, but for yourself, as yourself. So you get this tossing around a lot of this idea about atonement, at-one-ment. Use your syllables, right? At-one-ment. So a lot of people have this idea that it is the essence of the oneness, the unity of all that is. And yes, essentially that's what it is, but you can't really recognize what the unity is if you can't recognize that there is an aspect of yourself beyond who you are. So just like that idea that it is entirely possible to believe right now that God is dead. Why is it possible to believe God is dead? Because you don't know who you are. That's essentially believing that you are dead. You believe God is dead, or God doesn't exist, or God, it's like, just like having prayer. It's like, why doesn't God answer my prayers? Well, because he's too busy praying for his prayers to be answered, and now complaining why God isn't answering his prayers. You're not going to get the results of who or what you want if you don't know who you are. Or what you are. That which you are. So this course and many other courses and a lot of my other programs and courses are attempting to help you to recognize that you are not a body. Right? And you're hardly even a soul. That's just like the initial representation. But what you actually are is this, not this ego consciousness. You're not this ego consciousness personality. No, you're a consciousness beyond definition, beyond shape and form, a consciousness far outside of the dream. So all these metaphors and all these ideas, these names can't tell you what it is. None of it will tell you what it is. I say it all the time. We tell you what it is. Consciousness of Christ means absolutely nothing if you actually have no idea what it is. Sure, you might be able to feel some burning in the bosom, something or other is great, but if you don't know, and a lot of people make up these ideas. I mean, you can lie to yourself all you want that you know and you have a personal relationship with it. All you want, that's great. It's still part of the journey. As I would have said the same thing. I still to this day believe that I have communications with, say, God. And before, it was much more of a separation from it, because I didn't know that I was closer to it than I was to myself. My person. That God is closer to who I am than my person is. And I have this split in my mind. Aspect that knows myself and the aspect that doesn't know myself. Is sitting here saying, this is cool stuff. I don't know what he's saying exactly, but this is pretty intense. And then the other ones are just like, I am. And period. That's it. So with the reality of what it is that you're trying to you're coming to recognize, is it doesn't matter so much the definition of it. God, Christ, spirit, soul, spiritual universe. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter any of those definitions. Throw them out the window. Okay? Because firsthand experience will show you what it is. Okay? So, I mean, just like you haven't experienced the body yet, and you're going to be born in a body. Oh, it's so great, until you actually experience it. You're like, where's my mommy? Mama, baba. It's not so great. Right? So it's a pretty interesting thing. First-hand experience will always trump any sort of ideas and definitions that you have of whatever it is.